Hello guys and welcome. Today I'll be talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Maybe I'll touch on XRP as well, maybe KASPA as well. So let's get right into it. So Bitcoin has broke our level of 98k and it's bearish. Okay, once you broke this, we can say that a bear market is imminent for Bitcoin. Now, since we didn't have a euphoria this cycle and Bitcoin was the only main driver, what I expect is this to be a minimal bear market, where your bear market target is 50% from the top. So that puts you around 60 to 50k. All right, 60 to 50k. That's when you shove in Bitcoin. That's when you buy Bitcoin and you forget about it. All right. So since you deviated the high, you are probably coming to deviate the low. There is no question about this. Now, if we lose this, like let's say this is a range too, right? So let's take this range. Okay. This was a 7-month range where Bitcoin was between 74k and 50k. If you lose 50k, it's lights out. You can it's gonna be the longest bear market you've ever seen in your entire life. Everybody's gonna be calling bottom, 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 but no. This is your range. You had a range here, you had a range here, all of these are ranges. Now Bitcoin was very distributive here. You had a 3 drive. Look at this. This is the 3 drive. If we go into KASPA, it's a 3 drive. Every time you have a 3 drive, you are going down. You are going down. And the same thing when you have a 3 drive down. Let's go back to Bitcoin. When you have a 3 drive down, okay, or like a double bottom, a 3 drive down here, okay, then it's a bottom, you know, like you had a 3 drive here. Look at that. Like let's take a look here. Okay, same thing. Like it's really some people overcomplicate it. When you have something like this, then I would expect something here, you know. So you could even say this is a 3 drive as well. Look at this. See, bam, explosion, bam, explosion, bam, explosion, upward, downward, whatever it is. There is always like some kind of like expansion. Now let's that's for Bitcoin. Bitcoin alone is different. What I think is going to happen right now is that you are going to have alts outperform in this particular period. So whatever this period is, okay, this period here until like 105, 102, okay, this particular period, let's say like it's 2-3 weeks, alts will probably perform. It's alt time, you know, just for 2-3 weeks, I would say. And then once Bitcoin starts going down, what's going to happen? Alts will go back down with Bitcoin. Simple as that. It's always been like that with the cycle. When Bitcoin drops like 50%, 30%, whatever it is, then, but the objective order flow here is to hit 74k. All right. Now let's go into Ethereum. Ethereum is very interesting because if we let's remove all of the stuff here. Okay, Ethereum is very interesting. You're leaving, if we look at the daily, here, okay, and we take this parabola, you're leaving all this sell side liquidity. And if we're going into a bear market, trust me guys, if we're going into a bear market, the market maker will take this. So maybe like if we let's look at this a little bit from a like if we look at this from a distributive standpoint, okay, you had a buying climax, you had an AR. Okay, you had your second tap right here. Oh boy, here we go. A lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but You had your second tap right here. You get your third tap. Oh boy. And then whoosh down to $900. Maybe they front run that and put it at $980 or $1,000, but I could see that happening. You're leaving. Listen, every time you left this sell side liquidity, look, we left this sell side liquidity, right? Look at this. We left that. Okay. Did we come and take it? Eventually we did. Same thing right here. Now, if we're pushing up and we start taking 3K3, 3K6, 4K2, then you'd know that there's a third tap coming, and this, on a macro perspective, is distributive price behavior. And you're gonna have your 3 drive. You had your first drive 2021, you had your second drive right here, and then your third drive like right here, very close to each other. Yeah, but market makers are gonna take this opportunity to sell, to load up on their shorts, and they're gonna push it all the way down to 869. Nobody sees that right now, because like you're like in the middle of your range right now. But if we were to do that, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad for Ethereum, to be honest. Like $600 Ethereum? God damn. I don't know. It could happen. Solana, honestly, it's really simple. Look, guys, I have some magical lines here. I have a line at 120, okay? And I have a line at 180. All you could have done this bull run is you would buy at 120, sell at 180, buy at 120, sell at 180, buy at 120, sell at 180, until this thing rolls over. So maybe we don't even get to 180, but definitely better buy here than better buy like in the middle. So if you're buying at the lows, you're selling at the highs, you're good to go. You're probably going to come back here. If Ethereum is going back to 5K, you bet yourself that Solana is going to 190 at least. Now let's take a look at XRP. XRP is a very challenging chart, honestly, and it's very interesting. It went from distributive to accumulative. Like, one thing that I see is you had your 2 drive here, okay? You hit a demand that was hit from before, which is very interesting. You literally hit that, okay? That was the same demand that you had from before. You hit it, okay? And now you're bouncing back up. Maybe it goes back to 3.4, or maybe this was an accumulation for the continuation to go to the 168 or 268 or your 368. No one knows. But if we look from a daily perspective, okay, and we look at this wick right here, on the lower time frame, of course, if you check, we probably broke structure on the 6 hour. You can see here we broke structure, you broke structure, you're maintaining that break of structure. Really simple. Okay, so the objective over order flow over here is back to the range highs. So I would expect XRP to go back here right now. So that's a 57% move. All right, simple as that. Now let's go to KASPA. KASPA has been pumping lately. It's been going up. It made a break of structure. Let's take a look at this chart. Okay, this is a level I've been eyeing for quite some time. Every time KASPA breaks structure on a daily, you have a big move. You know, you have a move of, let's say, break of structure, 50%, 50%. I would think maybe it goes to like 7 cents, stalls down there. If Bitcoin is at 105 by that time, then it's an exit signal for you. But as we said before, 3 drive, you know, send the price up. From a technical perspective, I think KASPA is in a very accumulative price right now. Okay, so if we take the last point right here and we take these 2 points, okay, the objective of this point here is to establish this range, okay, and then you went down to your mega demand, okay, and from there you bounce back up. the expectational order flow is to take off. I would expect it to take off this. Let's take a look here. Supply right here. So you have a supply right here. Okay, so let's look at the daily. You have a supply here. You have an order book supply. This supply right here. You have a structural supply. Okay, so let's take this and put it as a supply. It's a big supply, you know? So it's already facing some resistance here, but I would expect KASPA to do something like this, okay? Perhaps goes up to 7 cents, scrolls down, goes down to the bottom here, finds a bottom somewhere here, okay? I don't know how much time it's gonna take to bleed down, okay? But it could be very slow bleed down, and once it reaches the 0.1815, then could be a very nice long here. Maybe something like this. It doesn't even need to be that, by the way. It could be the bottom for KASPA could be in already, and we could be like doing like this and then bounce back up, you know, bounce back up, and this could be the reversal for, or it could be like go up and then go down back to the range low and then go back up again when Bitcoin picks up again. That could be the case, you know. So all right, all eyes on Bitcoin right now, guys, at the 200 SMA. So let's take a look at the bull market support band. So all eyes are on, I would say, like let's see the structural. I would see like there's a structural here. You had this, you went up, and then boom, you went down. So you had like a structural here. Like this is the point. This is where you'd want to open your eyes and see if Bitcoin is rejecting. If Bitcoin is rejecting from this area, like this is what I would see. I would probably see something like this. Check if Bitcoin is rejecting. If it's entering here and then like flipping this into what do you call it? So like demand instead of a supply, then I think this you have a big chance of like having a new all-time high. But given that last time then when we stopped QT, okay, like something that nobody talks about, last time when we stopped QT, it marked the local top for Bitcoin, and it's doing the same thing. If you look at unemployment, you look at the economy, when QE happens, that's when your new bull market happens. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. When they start the money printers, Bitcoin is gonna pick up again. Right now, they have said that they're gonna start the money printers in 2026. So until then, there's volatility. Market makers could send Bitcoin down, make everybody afraid, and then QE begins, and then market makers push Bitcoin back up again. That's how it's gonna be played. Okay. Now, if Bitcoin goes below 50K, that's another discussion that we're gonna have probably if it happens. So that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. I've been ranting for the past 15 minutes. If you guys like, don't forget to like, subscribe, put on the notifications so that you can see the new videos that come up, and also follow me on X. I post on there regularly. I'll be soon announcing a Discord group where we can meet up and have updates live, and I'll also maybe start live streaming here and there to show you guys live trades. So let's do that. All right, guys, take care.